Happy Saturday. It is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Wasn't able to film this morning. I charged my cell phone last night, but for some reason it didn't charge. And so had my phone in the backpack for basically all morning on the charger, so it's finally fully charged. I've already hiked about a little over 7 miles to Cosby Knob Shelter. Took a break there, ate lunch, and now I am back on the trail. I have another about 7.6 miles, close to 8 miles to go until I get to my final destination of the day. I'm going to the last shelter within the territory of the Smoky Mountains, and so I plan on staying there for my last night and then doing a 3-mile hike early in the morning and hiking out. I'm hoping to do what is known as a Nero on tomorrow. Tomorrow is Easter, and so I don't want to be hiking too much on Easter, and so I'm going to, it's called Standing Bear Farm. I'm going to take a break there, resupply, try to wash some clothes, take a shower, all that good stuff, hopefully. I've heard good reviews about the hostel, so it is definitely, I am looking forward to it. So, but it is rained all last night, and then it's rained all day today, just like yesterday. And so I am looking forward to being out of the rain. It is cold. It is no fun hiking in the rain, especially when the trail is like a river and you're just swamping through the the mud and the water and everything else. Just even with rain gear on, it's impossible to stay dry. Just saying, impossible. So if it's not water from the rain, it's sweat. So, but it hasn't been too bad of a day when it comes to the terrain. It's pretty much all downhill, or almost all downhill today. So I've been doing pretty good on time. I'm keeping a really steady pace since there's not much climbing. However, I do feel my legs are getting stronger. I'm not as tired as I once was, going uphill especially. And so I'm slowly beginning to push more miles. Today will be my highest amount of miles that I've done in one day. At the end of the day, I should have hiked about 15 miles, so approximately. So I'm gonna just keep on stomping through the mud until I get to camp later this afternoon, this evening, and then I will talk to you there. Well, it looks like I made it to the shelter. I'm just about there, at least. I walked 15 miles today, mostly in the rain. It did stop once I got about 4 miles away from the shelter. It stopped raining, but it is still really muddy. And so I'm just making my way down the mountain to where the shelter's located. This is a different type of shelter, or I should say it's still got fencing around it, I'm told. They used to have fencing around the shelters to keep the bears out. So this one, they kept the fencing. So that tells me this is a high activity area, bear activity area. But I'm hoping there's room in the shelter, because I was also told that there is no tenting at this site. So if there is no room in the shelter, that means I'm gonna have to walk another 3 more miles until I get out of the Smoky Mountains. So, but I'm hopeful. My legs are sore. I've been hiking downhill most of the day, but it hasn't been too bad, other than the mud, of course. So with that said, I'm gonna get down here, if there's room, rest, change clothes into something dry, make something to eat, and then go to bed. So with that said, I will talk to you tomorrow. Good morning and happy Easter. It is Sunday morning, about 8:30, maybe a little bit earlier. I just hit the trail from the shelter. It is nice and cool this morning. However, I am pleased because it is not raining. It has rained, as you know, possibly for 2 days. And so I'm glad that it is not raining today. It's supposed to get warmer this week, I'm told, and I'm definitely looking forward to some warmer weather. I'm on my way down the mountain, about 3.5 miles, to Standing Bear Farms. It's a hostel. I need to dry out my clothes. All my clothes are wet. I'm actually hiking in my thermals right now, so I can't hike too fast because I don't want to get too warm. But they were the only thing I had left that was dry, and I did not want to put wet clothes on a second day in a row. So my shoes and socks are still wet, but other than that, I'm dry. I got my puffy on. I'm cruising down the trail, and so it's all good here in the mountains. So with that said, I will hopefully talk to you from the hostel, and I just plan on doing the routine thing there, cleaning clothes if I can, and taking a shower if it's available. And I shouldn't really need to resupply yet, at least not too many items, maybe a couple little small items. The next town is Hot Springs, and so I'll probably do most of my resupply there. It's only a few days away, and I think I got enough food to last me a few days. So with that said, I will talk to you soon from the hostel. Goodbye, Smoky Mountains. Well, I just got done with some trail magic. I came down from the mountains and reached the road, not too far from where the hostel is, about a mile off, and I met Sean and Samantha, and they are with their kids here passing out, you name it, they got it. And anything and everything any through hiker would want, they have it here passing out. They got sodas and fruit and even some stuff for resupply. It's awesome. So I really appreciate them and their kids. I had the opportunity to really just kind of talk with them. And Sean's a paramedic, and he's taken his this day to serve and to continue to serve, I should say, by passing out and helping through hikers. So it was a pretty good stop. I'm very appreciative of both of them and their kids. Their kids were funny, good to talk to. And so the rest of the day, like I said, I'm just about a mile off from my destination, and it should be an easy day. Crossing a river. I don't know the name of the river, but it is really flowing. So with all that rain, I'm sure we got a lot of water. But with that said, I will talk to you soon. Well, I made it to Standing Bear Farms. I am just here. I'm all rested. I've been here for a few hours so far. Had a good bite to eat. They cooked a homemade dinner. It was very good, I should say, for lunch. And then, so I checked out their little store, got me a sticker and a Gatorade to drink. Just enjoying the beautiful weather. It is a nice day today. Short miles, doing a Nero as stated. I'm going to stay here overnight and get up early in the morning and then head out. I'll probably hike about, I'm guessing 9 to 10 miles tomorrow, and hopefully in a few days be in Hot Springs. So with that said, I'm just going to enjoy the rest of the evening, and I will talk to you soon. Good morning from the trail. It is about 9:30. I just left the hostel probably about 45 minutes ago. I am making the climb up the mountain, and it is no joke. It is a big mountain. And so I looked at the map, and it looks like my climb is about 4.5 miles before I reach any downhill. And so it's going to be mostly climbing elevation today, climbing up. I plan on hopefully hiking over Max Patch this afternoon, and then sometime this evening, reaching my campsite. The shelter that I kind of have my target on is about 9.5, 10 miles away. So hopefully with the elevation I can make it there, and then I'll reassess and see if I want to push a little farther. I'm hoping to make it to Hot Springs either tomorrow afternoon or sometime early on Wednesday. I do not think I'm going to stay there in Hot Springs. I'm going to just stop by long enough to do a resupply, maybe look for a decent place to do laundry. I stayed at the Standing Bear Farm hostel last night and had a shower, rested. They fed me a free Easter dinner, which was very good. I appreciated that. And then I was going to wash clothes. However, they have a dryer but their washer is a washing board or a washboard, and so I didn't feel like doing my laundry with a washboard. I didn't think I would get it clean enough, as much of rain and mud that I've seen the last couple days. So but with that said, I'm only about 2 days off from hot springs, so I think I can wait just a little bit longer and then wash my clothes there. But I'm gonna just enjoy the beautiful weather. No rain in the forecast. It's supposed to be a great week, so I heard, and so I'm looking forward to that. And then I guess I will talk to you again from the trail. Well, I made it down to Groundhog Creek shelter. It was approximately 9 miles or so. I did not pass over Max Patch like I thought I was going to. I actually overshot Max Patch, or undershot it, I should say. I will be passing over it tomorrow sometime. But I made it to the shelter. I'm set up. I actually ate something as a late lunch. It's still a little bit early. I thought about going a couple more miles. However, this is a very good place. Water is close, the shelter is in good shape, and there is a privy, and that's good news. As well as there's an older gentleman here that I just met. He has thru-hiked the Appalachian Trail before, and he's out section hiking, so I got the opportunity to talk to him a little bit. Might do a fire later tonight if I'm feeling up to it. We'll see who else shows up. So far I haven't had to make a fire. Everybody else has done it for me, so that's just kind of how I roll. But there's only a couple other people here. It should be a quiet night. Nothing too out of the ordinary, I hope. This is bear. There's bear activity in this area, so we'll see. But so far I haven't seen a bear. I'm looking forward to seeing a bear from a distance at least. So with that said, I'm gonna just have a good evening, do some journaling, get up tomorrow morning early. This is my plan, and then hike through Max Patch as well as to the following shelter, which is about 13 miles away. So that's the plan for now. So hopefully I can carry through on it. With that said, I will talk to you again from the trail. Good morning. I'm back on the AT. It is about 8:30, 9 o'clock. I just set out from the shelter. I plan on walking, as stated, about 13 miles today. The next shelter is about 8 miles, so I'll probably stop there for lunch and then move on from there. But it is another beautiful day here in the mountains. It was a quiet night, other than we had some latecomers come into camp last night shining their light about 10, 11 o'clock. But other than that, a little bit of a fiasco as they were running around trying to find a place to set up their tents. It was peace and quiet. So, but it's going to be a day of ups and downs. I will pass through Max Patch today. For some reason yesterday I was thinking I was going to go through it yesterday, but that was not the case. Max Patch is a very popular location with some spectacular views. You used to be able to camp up on Max Patch. It was a very choice camping area. However, during COVID, there were hundreds of people who decided to go out there and basically messed up the area, left trash and left old tents and everything else there. And so there is no camping anymore on Max Patch, at least at this time. So I'll just be passing through, enjoying the sights, enjoying the views. Have not yet seen a bear. I've been trying to keep my eyes open. I'm hoping to see a bear from the distance, as stated. But it is downhill at the moment. I just got done climbing to the top of one mountain. So like I said, it's continual ups and downs today. But once I get over Max Patch, it should be mostly downhill, I believe, to the next, to my final shelter. So with that said, I will let you go, and I will talk to you again soon from the trail. That's good. Well, I just finished up with some trail magic. The Church of the Cove just served us hot dogs and potato chips and all kinds of goodies. I had a brownie and some fruit. It was very good. It was a hiking group through their church. They were called the Soul Sisters. That's what they call themselves. And so it was an awesome thing that they were doing. They were sweet ladies. But I am back on the trail. I have about 0.8 miles until I get to the top of Max Patch. And then it should be a lot of downhill after that, I believe. So with that said, I will talk to you soon. Well, I finally made it, 13 plus miles. I am approaching the shelter. I believe it's called Walnut Mountain Shelter. But I don't see anyone else here yet. And so I may be the first one here. It doesn't look like a very big shelter, so it's a good thing I'm the first one here. Make sure I get a spot, but I've been crossing back and forth all day between Tennessee and North Carolina. And so I just reached the top of the mountain and I'm coming down onto the ridge, and it looks like a little log cabin type shelter. And so I'm gonna just take it easy the rest of the night. I'm not real hungry, so I'll probably have a small dinner, since I ate 2 hot dogs and some chips and a brownie and a cookie and all kinds of stuff there at the Trail Magic earlier. And so, but it looks like it's gonna be a decent night. There's no call for rain anytime soon. I do see one person in a tent, so there is somebody here, but they're not in a shelter. But anyway, it's gonna be a calm night, and just gonna enjoy myself, do some editing on the videos, catch up, some journaling. I think I'm a day or 2 behind, and so I want to make sure I get my notes wrote down. That way I don't forget anything. But I'm gonna just take it easy tonight. It's been a long day of hiking. I got another 13 tomorrow, and then after that I think I'll be going into Hot Springs. So I may decide to do another 1 or 2 and just go directly into Hot Springs tomorrow instead of Thursday, but I'll decide that when it comes. So with that said, I will talk to you later. Good morning. I'm on the trail. It's 8:30 in the morning. It's probably a little bit before that, but I wanted to get an early start. I decided I'm gonna do 13, 14 miles today. Get into Hot Springs. I think I left early enough so I can get in there early enough to be able to resupply, maybe grab a bite to eat, and there's a spot just right across the river on the other side of Hot Springs where they do allow camping, and so I'll probably try. My plan is to camp there. That's plan A. Plan B is if that campsite is full, I can either keep going until I find a spot, or I can go back and try to get a room at a hotel or something. However, that would be probably plan C. I'm not really looking to get a hotel this early in the game, since I just stayed at the hostel a few days ago there right outside the Smokies. But it was a good night last night. I enjoyed hanging out with some other thru-hikers. I've talked to them before. I've stayed in a shelter with them in the past in the Smokies. So they are heading in, and they're staying at a hostel there in Hot Springs. But so I'm sure I'll see them again on trail. But last night I stayed in the shelter, as you saw, and there was 4 of us in there. And in the middle of the night, there was some critter trying to get into our backpacks. I don't know if it was a squirrel or a chipmunk or some kind of in-between animal, but it was a rodent. But one of the other thru-hikers woke up and scared it away. So, but other than that, it was a quiet night. It was a good night. Not too cold, not too hot. So I'm hiking here and I'm looking, and it's a beautiful day. The mayaples are everywhere. That tells me there's probably mushrooms somewhere. Probably not right off trail, because I would assume if they're right off trail, people would pick them real quick. So, but it is the season. So if you are a mushroom hunter, good luck. Eat some mushrooms for me, because I doubt I'll get some this year. But with that said, I'm going to keep on trucking. Like I said, I'm going to do 12, 14 miles today, and I will talk to you in a little bit. Bye.
Well, I made it to Hot Springs. I just came down the mountain. I'm walking down the sidewalk along the street. I'm gonna go probably the Dollar General first, grab a couple of resupplies, some items I need, food items, and then I'm going to go find something good to eat for dinner.
Damn, you got both of the guys fucking with your dog.
Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. You know what I'm talking about? Purple rain skirt. Woo-hoo!
Good morning. I am heading out of Hot Springs. I actually slept next to the river last night. It was a beautiful night. I got to hear the water rushing, and so it was some terrific white noise to help me sleep. But it was a good evening last night. The only issue I ran into is hanging my bear bag. I accidentally threw my what's called a rock sack. It's to help throw the line over the branch. I threw it over another branch and it wrapped around, so I got it stuck. And so I had to wait till this morning to find a big stick before I could get it untangled. But it's all untangled back in my backpack, so we're all good right now. But I had a good evening last night, resupplied, as you know, there in Hot Springs. Then I stopped by the outfitter. I didn't buy anything. I just stopped by there just to check out what they had there to offer. And then I went by a restaurant to grab a bite to eat. Had some nachos, some chicken nachos, so it was very good. And found out they were doing hiker karaoke. And so, no, I did not sing. However, I did watch some of my fellow thru-hikers get down and sing out. But it was entertaining. It was good. I wasn't there too long, probably just a couple hours. And then I headed out to try to set up camp before it got dark. But I got about a 10 to 11 mile walk today to the next shelter. I'll probably be staying there this evening. The next few shelters seem to be real far apart. And so the one after that is 18, and I don't feel like walking 18 miles yet. So with that said, I'm just gonna bust out some miles, and I will talk to you soon from the trail. Well, I made it to camp. I got here pretty early. It wasn't even 3 o'clock when I arrived. I've been here for probably about 2 hours or so. Ate me a snack since I didn't stop for lunch this afternoon. Wait a little bit, maybe another hour or two before I have dinner. I just wanted to eat something before I go to bed, just to help keep me warm through the night. But it was a good day. A lot of uphills today. I got to hike with Special, a lady that I met back in the Smokies, I guess it was. I met back up with her on trail today, and we just hiked together to the shelter here. She's staying in a tent up the hill a little bit, but I did snag a place in the shelter. So it's a beautiful day. Supposed to rain this evening, I'm told. not till about 5 in the morning or 4 in the morning, somewhere around then, but early in the morning. But I don't mind. It's not too bad. I don't think it's supposed to rain a lot, just a little bit in the morning, and then maybe off and on tomorrow, so we'll see about that. But like I said, it's been a good day. Have some nice people here at the shelter tonight, so we're just gonna talk a little bit, and then I'll do some journaling as always, and then get some sleep. So with that said, I will talk to you soon. Good morning from the trail. It's about 9 o'clock. I just hit the trail. Had a slow start this morning. Last night, it was a decent night. It sprinkled a little bit in the middle of the night as expected. However, I heard some movement going on in my backpack. And so when I woke up this morning, I was checking out my backpack and I found out that there was a mouse trying to build a nest in my backpack. And so I had to clean that all up. Thankfully, it didn't look like he chewed up any of my gear. It was just moving stuff he found into my backpack to make himself a little nice, cozy home. But I'm on the trail now. I'm heading downhill. I think I have a couple miles downhill, and then there'll be some more climbing today. I'm going to attempt to go 15 miles today to a shelter. There is another shelter closer than that. It's an 8-mile shelter. However, I would like to go more than 8 miles. However, again, it's supposed to rain. They're calling for thunderstorms today around 1. And so when I get to the 8-mile shelter, I'll reassess and see if I want to keep going, if it's raining at that time, or if I want to stay put for a while. But it's a beautiful day, not too hot, not too cold. Spring, as stated, spring is upon us. The flowers are blooming, the trees are budding. It is gorgeous here in the mountain. So with that said, I will talk to you soon from the trail. Well, I just got done with some trail magic. A lady by the name of Emoji was passing out some goodies on the side of the trail. She spends 5 days a week doing trail magic. Her husband passed away a while back, and that's what she does now to fill the time. She also gave out some poems that she wrote with some Bible verses. So that was very encouraging to receive something that had such meaning. But I appreciate her. I appreciate her efforts, and I appreciate the love that she shares to thru-hikers like me. I'll talk to you soon. Well, I got right over one mountain coming down the other side, and it looks like it may be more trail magic. I guess we'll see.
Kind of interesting how it was developed and everything. And like the whole, like at this point, like 99% of the trail is on public property. But there is a little bit up in, I think it's in Vermont, where the ski, there's like a ski resort that's still private that the trail passes through.
Well, I just got myself stuck in a thunderstorm. I got a couple more miles before I reach the shelter. So I'm trying to hurry up and get there and just praying that I don't get struck by lightning. I'm on the side of a mountain surrounded by trees. And so the storm just blew in. I heard there could be storms today around 1 o'clock, and it's about 1 o'clock now, maybe 12:30. But this morning the skies look pretty clear. I was hoping that was rumors, but it looks like they were right. So I'm gonna try to keep pushing up this hill until I get to the shelter, and then hunker down there in the storm until it lets up a little bit. So, with that said, I hope I'll talk to you again from the shelter. Well, it's been a long day. I got about another mile or so, a little over a mile, until I get to the shelter that I'll be staying at this evening. It's been full of ups and downs, and I don't just mean literally, I mean figuratively as well. What I mean by that is, started out this morning, hit 2 trail magics in a row. Then right after that, we passed by where the cookie lady lives and got a free cookie from her. And then right after that, we ran into a thunderstorm. And so I was hiking with a couple guys here this morning, but they ended up stopping at that first shelter, deciding to stay the night there, and I decided to keep moving on to the second shelter. It's been following a ridgeline just a few minutes ago. It was a little sketchy with the winds and the rain and cliffs on both sides, but I made it across. And the highlight of today is that I just now passed the 300-mile mark. And so I'm gonna keep on trucking and get into camp, hopefully before it gets dark, and then get set up and get something to eat, because it's been a long day. I will talk to you soon from the trail.